Hi guys, my name is Jana and today I want to start with the brick stitch. I'm going to keep that simple. We're going to start with some earrings. As you can see, I got a whole lot of stuff here lined up. I'm planning to make the earrings in white, but I'm not sure what I'll be using yet. So I got everything white and some silver laid out. I do know that I want to use my 4mm Swarovski bicones, so that's to start with. And of course you need ear hooks. So for the ear hooks, that's what we're going to start with. You need a seed bead size 8 and get one off. And of course you need to make 2 earrings, but I'm just going to show. Take your earring hook. Gonna open that up, just move that forward, pick up your size 8, put that on there, and then turn that back. And then hopefully you're about and around in that same position. If not, of course you will have to close that up like that. So that takes care of my ear hook. And it's got a size 8 seed bead on there because I need that later on. And what I'm also going to use is Ceylon. This is white Ceylon. It's AA. Why am I using Ceylon? Because we're going to make some dangles at the end of the earring. And they're called fringes actually. I'm going to take about an arm span and a half wide of thread. I'm going to cut that and put that on my needle. Yeah, we're going to make some fringes at the end, and I'm not really sure on how I want to fringe it yet. So I want the earrings to dangle, but I also want to make something that is like snow, you know, sort of a snow earrings. What I'm going to start with is seed beads. And I'm going to do a ladder stitch. Now, if you've been around for a while, you know that the ladder stitch is one of my favorite stitches. So pick up 3 seed beads, and I'm going to pull that through to near the end of my thread. Put that on my finger. Hold that close together like that. So you got them between your fingers. Pick up your first seed bead and then go into the first seed bead and pull that through. And then go back into that seed bead you just added like that. Okay, that's one. Now we're going to pick up another seed bead and we're going into the second seed bead right here, pulling the needle, pushing the needle towards ourselves. Pull that through, and then just hold that closely to that second seed bead that you just put on your needle and go in there, right there. And just put your finger on top of there so you can pull it through correctly. Now pick up a third seed bead, and we're going to go into that third seed bead like that, pushing the needle towards ourselves. And then that one too, coming out of the bottom right there, goes back into the seed bead we have just added. Right there. And pull that through. And then you can pull everything together like that. And now we're going to turn it around so the thread is towards ourselves. And we're going to pick up another seed bead. And we're going to push it into the first seed bead of the second row towards ourselves. Like that. And then push it back into that seed bead that you just added. Right there. And pick up another seed bead again. Go into the second one of the second row. Push it towards ourselves. Like that. Oh, and then into that seed bead you just added. Now pick up another one and into the third seed bead of the second row, pull it towards ourselves, into that seed bead again, and right there. Turn that around again so that the thread is towards us. Pick up a seed bead, go into the first one of the third row now, pulling it towards yourself, and into the seed bead you just added. And you're just going to do this, turning it around and around until you have the desired wide size of the earring that you want. So I think that would be about 7 seed beads. I think that would be the desired wide. Turn it around again, into the first one of the fourth row, and out. Yeah, and just do this until you have 7, so pause me now and see if 7 is wide enough for you. If not, do 9. Make sure you got an uneven number, because you want the middle dangle or fringe to be on the lowest point. So if you have like 6, then you got 2 fringes at this of the same size. So you really want that middle point. So you gotta have an uneven number. Okay, so pause me now until you have 7 or 9. So I got 7. I'm going back into the previous row now to tighten that up like that. Up the third row, like that. Down the fourth row, like that. Up the fifth row, make sure you got all of them, like that. Down another row, 6th row, like that, and up the 7th row, like that. And that evens out the first couple of rows. Now I wanted to use Delica beads, but they're a little smaller. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to use cubes on top of there. And you can use Delica beads, but you'll come up short because the seed beads are a little wider than the Delica beads, so the cube should do okay. I got 1mm cubes here, Miyuki cubes. I'm going to pick up 2 cubes. And I'm going to go underneath the thread of the 2nd and the 3rd row, right there. Pull that through, and I'm going to go up. And you got to be careful, you go up the correct way, up in that cube, that first cube, just like that. And now you can see that this is a little bit crooked, so we're going to go down into that first cube again, just the cube, not the seed beads, and we're going to go up in that 2nd cube again, right there, and that straightens out the cubes. So we're going to pick up another cube. I'm going to just get my seed beads out of the way. Pick up another cube, and now we're going underneath the thread of the 3rd and the 4th row here. So if you got that on your side, then you should easily be able to see the threads. If you use Ceylon, it's going to be a little bit harder if you use Fireline for this, but I prefer Ceylon for this because the dangles are also a little bit more flexible. And then we're going back up into the cube, right there. And now my band-aid got stuck. Okay, so that's the third cube, and that's nicely positioned. So we're going to pick up another cube, and now we're going in between the fourth and the fifth row with our needle. Don't go underneath the seed piece, just make sure that you go underneath the thread only on the top row. Pull that through, and then also stick that in there, right there. And then we're going to pick up another cube, and we're going to go underneath the thread of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and the 6th row, like that. And we're going to go up in the cube, like that. So we're going to add one more cube, like this, on the needle, underneath the thread between the last 2 rows. Pull that, and stick that needle into the cube again, like that, and pull that through. Okay. Now, turn it around so that the thread is towards you, and pick up 2 cubes, 1, 2, and go underneath the thread between the 2nd and the 3rd cube. That's right here. Pull that through, and then we're going up in the 2nd cube again, like that. And again, you will see that these 2 are crooked. If I put it down, maybe you'll see it better. These 2 are crooked because of the first one pulling it to the left. So we're going down into the 1st cube, pull that down, and then up in the 2nd cube, and that should straighten it out. Yeah, there you go. Now pick up another cube, and then go in between the 3rd and the 4th cube, underneath the thread, like that, and then up in the cube again, like that. So picking up another cube, underneath the threads of the 4th and the 5th cube, there, and then up that cube again. And now you got to be careful that you go up the cube like this, because I did it a couple of times when I went up the cube by accident like this, and from the other side, and then everything gets messed up. So you got to be careful that you're pushing your thread up in the cube like that. Okay, so I was able to entangle that thread. I know there are a lot of people that use beeswax out there, and that would be actually a good plan to start using that for this, especially when you get to the end of a roll of Ceylon thread, because it's really curling up, and I don't have any beeswax in the house, so I just have to be careful. So I'm putting on the last one of the 2nd row, carefully pulling it through, and then we're going to turn that around again and start with 2 again, underneath the 2nd and the 3rd cube, with the needle under the thread, pull that through into that 2nd cube, into that 1st cube to straighten that out, and up in the 2nd cube again, Now just continue doing these rows until you have done the last two. So pause me now until you get there and I'll show you what's next. Okay, I've done my last two, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pick up a cube and I'm going to pick up a size 11 seed bead. I'm going into my ear hook, a seed bead size 8, and I'm going to pick up another size 11. Then I'm going to pull that through all the way to the end, like that. And I'm going to pick up that one cube that I just added, and I'm going to go in there, pull that through a bit, and I'm going to go into that second cube right there. Sorry guys, it got dark at my end of the world again. After we're done this area, we're going to go all the way down. And we're now coming out of the same two, or same 3 seed beads actually, as the other thread. So when we're going to go back up, we're going to knot that. But first we're going to fringe. Basically the fringe is anything you would like it to be. The thing is, what is gorgeous, okay? But first, you're gonna start with 1 seed bead, or maybe 2 seed beads, or 3 seed beads, whatever you like to go under these 3 seed beads. These seed beads are going to be increased until you get to the middle, and then they're going to be decreased again. So I'm going to start with 1, and I got plenty of stuff here that I like to use. So I'm going to use a delicate bead that's a little shiny. I like this one. It's kind of clear, but it's also shiny clear. So I'm going to pick up another seed bead size 11. After that, I'm going to pick up the bugle, and I'm going to pick up another seed bead size 11 and Swarovski 2mm. Another seed bead size 11, I think, and it would be nice to have another cube in there. Why not? And then a size seed bead 11. So then I'm going to pick up a Swarovski. There. And I think I'll have a cube in there. That's pretty cool. Cube, and I think I'll have another seed bead. And I will have this one and another seed bead, and then I think I'm going to add another Swarovski, and I'm going to close that off with a 15 seed bead of Miyuki. So this is basically what I'm going to set up, and you can check that if you don't like that. If that's too much, you can change that, but I think this is nice. I'm going to pick that up like that. So that's my first fringe. That's what it's going to be. That's what it's going to look like. Now, to make sure that everything stays on that thread, of course, I'm going to take off that seed bead. Well, not take it off, but slide it down. And I'm going to go back through all these beads, all the way up through these 3 seed beads. Okay? So, through the bicone. And of course, what do you know? I would be running out of space on my card. Okay, so we're going back through all these. Beads that I put on here. And you can pull it through halfway if you want. That's okay. I'll pull that up there. And then these, and then come out in front of these 3 first, because you need to tie a knot with that other thread. Make sure that that's tied. that you don't have any room in between there. And I'll tie it 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. And then just put your needle down for a second and put that on a second needle. There. And now you can take this thread and run it down. These seed beads you just added. Just push it down, but not all the way to the Swarovski. The last Swarovski, that is. Oh, great, my seed bead. Okay, I'm coming out of the Swarovski here. Put that back on my needle. So I'm going a little further down into the seed beads, Delica beads, Swarovski, and I think it would be nice to come up right in front of the Swarovski. See, this thread may ruffle a little bit later on, and you don't want it coming out of that Swarovski, just in case you didn't cut it close enough to your seed bead. Then you will get that little thread coming out of your Swarovski on the bottom, and you will see it. See, as you see now, you can't see anything. So, I'm going to pick up our other thread again, and now we're going to go up 3, and if all is correct, your knot should be down here, but if it's not, just pull it up in there. And now we're going down the second 3 right there. And we're going to add 2 seed beads to start with, because I started with 1 seed bead here, so I'm going to start with 2 seed beads now. And then I'm going to take one of these Delicas and another seed bead, a bugle, a seed bead, a little Swarovski 2mm round bead, a seed bead, a cube, a seed bead, and another Delica bead, and another seed bead, and oh wait, I forgot the Swarovskis. So that's right here. That was cube, that one, then the Swarovski, another cube, underneath it, seed bead, that one, another seed bead, and then another Swarovski, and then a 15-0. And to make sure you did that correctly, just put it right next to it and see if that's correct. Okay? So that's your second fringe. Again, slide over the size 15-0 seed bead and go back through all of these all the way up. And if you can, why not right away into those 3 seed beads. And sometimes that's hard. You get 2, just pull it through. Or don't pull it through just yet. Put that at the end first. Doesn't really matter. And then get that through there. And if it gets too hard, then just get one of your pliers, doesn't matter which one, hold that, pull that, and get that through there. Oops. So, The best way to do this is just to hold the end and pull your thread. Then you're going to go down in the third one. You start with 3 seed beads, then the rest of them, and the middle one has the most, and then you start decreasing your seed beads again after that. So yeah, I would say I think you understand that. And just pause me now till you get to the end and I'll show you what's next. Okay, I have just finished my last one, and I went up through the 3 seed beads on that top, and now we're going to go into the side right here. I'm going to go up, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to go circle around in here again. So that's 1 thread in there. I'm going to get the 2nd thread in there. Into the cube. Last 2 of them. The seed bead size 11. Turn it around a bit like that. Into the seed bead again, and into the cube. Going down 3 cubes on the side. Going up. Going down. Up again. And going around in there again. So that will make it 3 times. And I think that's securely enough. So we got it 3 times. You can do it a 4th time if you want, but I think 3 times will be sufficient. Now I'm going to go 3 down. I'm going to go underneath, in between the cubes. I'm going to go underneath the thread. I'm going to pull that through into the loop. Pull that through, and now you got the knot on the outside, but we're going into this cube, and then we're going to pull that knot, pop in there. So we're going to do that again. Underneath the thread, into the loop, and you can pull that tight, and into that cube. And pull that knot in there. And what we're going to do next is we're going to go up, because we already have 1 extra thread in here. We're going to go up 1, up 1, down 1, go through 3 again, if you can. If you can't, try 1. Try 1 by 1. And if it's just too tight, don't do it, because don't break your seed beads, because you'll have to start over again. And if I can't get it in that second seat bead, that's okay too. But if I can, I will. No, I don't think it will work. Not 2 at a time. Maybe 1. No. So this is where I'll leave it. If I had been able to go through there, I would have gone and taken that thread down all the way. But I got 2 knots in there. Everything will be okay. So that's it. I hope you like it. I think it's really pretty. There are so many ways that you can fringe. There are colors that you can use to play with, you know, like make a little V or whatever. I've seen animals in here actually, where people would fringe animals, and yeah, the better you get at it, the more gorgeous you will be able to make them look. But I think they're pretty cool. And I've noticed that if you have taken these 3 white lines with the blocks, if these blocks were red and these would stay white, you would have like a Santa hat. So that might be a really great idea for next year, to sort of make a Santa hat and then fringe the rest of it. I think if you're going to be selling, or if you plan on selling, or even if you don't plan on selling and you wind up selling, yeah, that should be next Christmas. That should be very interesting, because I think that a lot of people would probably buy them. So, but that's for next year. We just had Christmas, and this is the first project of 2013. I hope you guys liked it. We'll be doing some more brick stitching. I want to show you how to make a brick stitch ring. I want to be able to show you how to make gorgeous necklaces with the brick stitch. I think the brick stitch, because it takes a long time to make, is very yeah, secondary to the peyote stitch, which goes much faster, or the right angle weave. But I want to show you anyway what you can do with this. I hope you like it. Just make another one and knock yourself out. Use your imagination. Color combinations, sizes, length. Yeah, you don't have to do it like this, the way I did it here with 3, 2, 1. You can do 1 and then 3 and then 5 and make the difference here bigger. But yeah, I like it like this. I think it's pretty. So you guys have fun, enjoy this. I will be back very soon with the next tutorial, because I only have 1 more month and then I need to get you guys up to advanced level. And I think we're slowly getting there, because this is already a little bit of an advanced tutorial, but it's still a basic brick stitch that I wanted to explain. So yeah, guys, have fun. I'll see you next tutorial. Bye!